Singing with emotion in songs.
Run, run, lost boy, they say to me.
A lot of people get stuck and hung up on the technical aspects of singing, like singing in a mix or singing the high notes properly without strain. And often, those are very important to build the foundation to a released voice. But they're not going to be the things that are going to take you from sounding good to sounding amazing. Today, we're going to go over all the aspects that will take you from sounding good to sounding amazing with emotion. Now, before I go any further, is a little story time, because I myself started off singing with very little emotion in my voice, and I struggled a lot with finding how do I sing with emotion in singing. When I thought that I was giving enough energy and enough emotion and enough feeling into the song, I didn't realize that when you record yourself, a lot of it kind of disappears. It's very similar to recording myself on camera. When I'm speaking to the camera, I feel like I'm giving so much energy, but then when I watch it back, I'm so surprised at how much lower the energy looks on camera. So you almost have to overact to a certain degree when it comes to being on camera. And the same thing is true when it comes to getting in front of a microphone. We have to, so to speak, oversing or do more than we think we're doing. And the only way you can feel this is if you record yourself. So the first thing I would recommend to do is record yourself, listen back, and then listen to the original artist. Now listen to the difference between those two. Do you sound like you have as much emotion in your singing as the original artist does? And for all the tips that I'm going to give you today, recording and listening back is probably going to be the most effective way to implement any and all of these. So let's start off with one of the easiest techniques to give over the feeling that you're giving emotion without necessarily actually having to feel the emotion. And that is singing with dynamics. When we're singing with dynamics, what I mean is we go from quiet to loud. So it's the difference between happy birthday to you, right? If I sing like that, that's going to be lacking dynamics. It's all one dynamic level. Now, if I sing happy birthday to you, now I have some dynamics in there. Obviously, we can get a little bit more intense with that as we work on it. But the main idea here is that difference between those two approaches was just the dynamic level that I give it. So if I give it even more, happy birthday to you, and you push and pull on the volume, that very easily gets you the feeling of emotion in your singing. So if people are telling you, it sounds like you're bored when you're singing, or it sounds like you're not connecting with the song, that's probably the easiest way, the number one easiest way to start to get some emotion in your singing. The other element that's going to develop emotion in your singing is something called compression. So compression in singing is how much squeeze there is between the vocal cords. So when the vocal cords are coming together, how much are they squeezing every time they come together? So if I have a compressed sound, that'll sound like, oh. That's my vocal cords compressing. As opposed to a non-compressed sound, ha. So it's just a very light tapping of the vocal cords. So if I hold those, ha, versus ah. Now I'm over compressing just to show you the difference, but having some level of compression will start to give the idea of emotion. So let's say the same song, right? Happy birthday. And I sing, happy birthday to you. And I add in some compression there versus happy birthday to you, right? And it's not just being compressed the whole time. It's mixing up compression. This is where dynamics also fall in. Mixing up compression with not compressed. Happy birthday to you. Right? So that's where I've got a little bit of compression at some points. And I let go of that. And then I compress again. So we could start to get that more intensity, the emotion underneath the song very easily with just one simple concept, compression. And the final tip for making your sound go from good to amazing has to do with actually working on the emotion of the song. So I can't tell you how many people, myself included, that are very drawn to the melody of songs and don't really even pay attention to the lyrical content. So if you're not even aware of what you're saying lyrically in the song, then how are you expecting to connect with it and make other people feel emotional and connect with the emotion of the song if you don't even know what emotion's being given over? So what I highly recommend is break it down line by line and look through the song. Happy birthday to you. Okay, obviously it doesn't work for happy birthday, but like, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, right? So it's pride. It's the idea of looking out and seeing something vast. Like all those concepts that could be encapsulated into a performance will draw out the feeling in your audience, and you will start to feel it as well while you sing. So if you could do this and really connect with the lyrical content of what you're singing, it's going to make all the difference, right? It's the difference between just going blah, 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 where it doesn't really matter what you're singing. It's just the tune that you enjoy. Whereas if you start to think of what does every single word mean, now automatically it's going to be a totally different performance. There's no way you could sing it the same way when you didn't know what the words meant. So it's a totally different experience. So I hope this helped. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I really want to hear from you. And if you're interested in developing this technique of really feeling the emotion and finding even more detail on this, I highly recommend you click the link down below where I've got my community. And in there, I have a course that runs you through the singer's roadmap of all the steps that you need from A to Z to improve all aspects of your voice. So if you guys like this video, please click right over here. You're going to like it too. I'll see you over there.